Hello, good evening, Francisco. How are you?
Oh, Miss King, fine, thanks. And you?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for asking. Let me start sharing the screen. Okay, do you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So today we will have a review for comparatives and superlatives, just to make sure that the topic is 100% clear for you. So let's start. And first, I want to start with a little exercise. The instructions say, compare the following places using comparatives and superlatives. So, what can you tell me about the beach and the mountains, Francisco?
Beach on the mountain. Smells. The mountain smells. Uh, Vegetation. How do you say vegetation?
Vegetation has more vegetation,
Vegetation. Is mountain is more vegetation.
has more.
Has more
Mhm.
vegetation than
The
beach.
beach, the
Than
beach.
the beach.
Very good. Okay, what about the town and the city? What can you say about that?
In the town, in the city, I can see that in this city is more, how do you say, poblado, pobre, how
Populated,
populated.
populated, yes,
Okay.
populated.
The city uh, more populated than than town.
Than the town.
Down the town. There.
Okay, the city is more populated than the town.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Francisco. David, what about you? Let's use comparatives or superlatives for the beach and the mountains. What can you say?
Comparative.
Okay,
Um, the beach is the the beach. The beach is be better than mountain.
okay. The beach is better than the mountain. Very good.
Than the mountain.
What about the town and the city? What can you say about that?
The the town is mm, pop, popul, populated.
Okay, but which is more pop in that case, populated? How many
Uh-huh.
syllables do you hear in populated?
Populated.
Populated, how many syllables?
Uh, two or two
Populated.
or
So we have four syllables with populated. So when we have syllables, I'm sorry, we have
more
adjectives, we use more. Very good.
more popular.
So,
So, uh-huh.
yes, can you give the complete sentence?
The the town no town the more populate perdón. The town is more
Populated.
populated
Mm-hmm.
than city
The city, than the city.
than the city.
Okay, very good, David. Good evening, Letty, your turn. What can you say about the beach and the mountain?
Mm. The beach is more beautiful than mountains.
Okay, very good. And the mountains, okay, the mountains.
Mountains.
And what can we say about the town and the city?
The town is smaller than city.
The city.
The city.
Okay, excellent, Letty. Thank you so much. And now let's go with Ale. Ale, what can you say about the beach and the mountains?
Can you repeat, please?
Give me a sentence comparing the beach and the mountains using
Okay.
comparatives or superlatives.
Okay. The beach is more hotter than the mountains.
Okay, hot, how many syllables do you hear with hot?
Hot
Hot, how
and
many syllables?
hot, 3.
Three. Hot,
Or
syllables, remember that syllables are vowel sounds. Los sonidos vocales. So how many syllables do you hear in the word hot?
hot.
En el adjetivo hot, how many syllables do you hear?
1
One. Okay. So when we have those adjectives, we don't use more in comparatives, okay? So how would the sentence be if we don't use more?
The beach is more hot.
No, we cannot use more because the adjective has only one syllable.
Yeah. The beach is hotter or
Hotter, hotter
than
than.
the mountain.
Very good, very good. And what can you say about the town and the city?
How do you say antiguo?
Antique, like this. Or you can say old. Antique is literally antiguo, or you can say old.
Okay.
It's a synonym.
The town is older than the city.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you, Ale. Okay, excellent, guys. Thank you so much for your participation. Now let's move to a review. We will have a review about comparatives and superlatives. Miss Letty, can you help me reading this part, please?
Okay, comparatives and superlatives. A comparative adjective is a word that describes a noun by comparating into another noun. Comparative adjectives typical and in er and are followed by the word than. A superlative adjective is a word that describes a
Describe.
noun, describe a noun by comparing it to three or more nouns to the
Highest.
or lowest degree. Superlative adjectives typically end in est and are preceded by the word the.
Okay, very good. Preceded. Are preceded by the word the. Thank you so much, Letty. So, guys, it's very simple. Comparatives, we compare one thing with another, okay? And superlatives, a superlative, it could be either the highest or the best thing, or the lowest or the worst thing of anything you're talking about, all right? So, every time we use comparatives, we will identify comparatives by this ER. The adjectives end with ER. And we also have we will call it auxiliary, then. And with superlatives, we will always identify a superlative because the superlative ends in est. And then we always are preceded by, they are always preceded, sorry, by the word the. Okay? So now let's move on to the rules. So, David, help me reading this paragraph and the examples here, please.
Okay. One syllable
Syllable.
adjective. Syllable. Let's look at the chart showing the comparative and superlative forms of the word for the most basic unsyllable adjectives, where we add er for the comparative and es for the superlative. Comparative adjective example. I am faster.
Faster, yeah.
I am faster than my friend. Arizona is hotter than Alaska.
Hotter, hotter than.
Hotter. Arizona is hotter than Alaska.
Okay.
Superlative adjective example. She's the tallest student. That was the shortest. ¿Cómo?
The shortest. The
The short.
shortest or the shortest movie.
That was the shortest movie in the series.
Serious. Serious.
Series.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, David. So, guys, very, very important. With these adjectives, with big, tall, small, with the short adjectives, with the small ones, I don't say more bigger. I don't say more big because they can be comparative by themselves. Es bien importante que tengamos cuidado en esta parte. Tenemos la tendencia a confundir el, el more y que lo ponemos con todos los adjetivos. Pero si tienen reglas, cuando el adjetivo tiene nada más una sílaba, o para que entendamos mejor, cuando son chiquitos los adjetivos, when you have short adjectives, we don't use more. No puedo decir more bigger, no puedo decir more taller, tampoco puedo decir more big or more tall, ¿ok? The comparatives will be bigger, taller, smaller, hotter. And then we have the superlatives, biggest, tallest, smallest, and hottest, all right? Do we have questions about this rule? ¿Hay preguntas?
No.
No questions? Okay.
No, teacher.
Let's go back to the next rule. Mr. Francisco, help me reading this one, please.
Two-syllable adjective. Now, let's look at showing the comparative and superlative forms of the word for adjectives with two syllables. Comparative adjective with two syllables can be formed by making the year ending or by ending the word more or less before the adjective. For superlative adjective, you make the s ending, but use the word most or less.
List.
List.
List. Yeah.
Instead
Instead of. That's the pronunciation. Instead of.
Okay. Comparative adjective example. She tends to be less passive than her brother. This quiz is simpler than the last one. A superlative adjective example. Fall is the busiest shopping season. This is the most rapid method for delivery.
Okay, very good. And the pronunciation of this word is busiest, okay? This one is busiest. The fall is the busiest shopping season. So,
How do you mean busiest?
busiest, busy, when you have a lot of things to do, that means that you're busy. Hold on, let me put it here in the chat. So when you say busiest,
Okay. Busy.
yeah.
Busiest. Okay.
So the season is the busiest season in the year. For example, here in El Salvador, Christmas is the busiest shopping season. Everybody gets crazy in Christmas. They get crazy about the clothes, about the food, about the alcohol. That is the busiest shopping season in El Salvador. So
Okay.
we have, thank you, Francisco, for participating. Now we have the adjectives in here. As we studied yesterday, when the adjective ends in Y, we remove Y and we add IER or IST. Happy is the adjective. The comparative will be happier. The superlative happiest. Crazy will be crazier and craziest. And for these ones, we have nervous is an exception. Massive is an exception. For these ones, the comparative in this case will be more nervous or most nervous, okay? And another way to say it would be less nervous and least nervous. ¿Qué significa? For example, I am more nervous than my sister. O sea, yo soy más nerviosa que mi hermana. ¿Cómo ocupo el less? My sister is less nervous than me. O sea, ella es menos nerviosa que yo. Y así se ocupa. For example, my mom is the most nervous person in the family. Mi mamá es la persona más nerviosa de la familia. That is with most. What about least? My father is the least nervous person in the family. Mi papá es el menos nervioso de la familia, la persona menos nerviosa. Así se ocupa more y less, y así se ocupa most and least, okay? Just in case you have questions with this. Is this part clear for you guys? Or you have questions?
Los tres últimos son casos especiales. Solo en ellos se ocupa así, less nervous.
Yeah.
Nervios.
For
Más
example, these are exceptions de los que tienen dos sílabas.
Ajá.
Porque ya, por ejemplo, si yo quiero ocupar beautiful, for example, ahí sí lo puedo ocupar también. My sister is more beautiful than my cousin, un ejemplo. And I can say
Porque es más largo.
exactly, porque es más largo. Pero también puedo decir my sister is less beautiful than my mom o algo así. Pero estas son las excepciones con los adjetivos de two syllables, ¿ok? Con los que ya
Okay.
son largos, aplica lo mismo. Sí, pues se puede usar more and less y most and least. My point, lo que quería que entendieran es cómo se usa el more y el less, o sea, qué es lo que significa, y también el most y el least. But yes, Letty. Any other questions, guys?
No.
No questions. Okay.
No.
Let's move on. Very good. Okay, and these ones are three or more syllable adjectives that this is actually what we were just discussing with Letty. Alejandra, can you help me reading this paragraph and these examples?
Okay. Three or more syllable adjectives. The charts below shows the comparative and superlative forms of the word for adjectives that are three or more syllables long. In this case, we always add more or less before a comparative adjective and most or less before a
Least,
superlative adjective.
least, that is the
Least,
pronunciation, least, yeah.
least. Comparative adjectives examples. I tend to be more reluctant than my friends when trying new things. The noise at the pool was less bothersome than the noise on the beach. Beach.
Bish.
Superlatives adjectives examples. Her second compilation was the most exceptional of them all. Those were the less comfortable couches I have ever sat on.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ale. So these ones, guys, we studied yesterday. Whenever we have three or more syllable adjectives, we have to use more, less, most, or least, depending on what we're trying to say. For example, if I want to say, I will say it in Spanish and you will say it in English. Mi abuela es más complicada que mi mamá. How can we say that?
My grandmother
Uh-huh.
is my grandmother is most complicated than my mother.
Okay. What is the mistake, guys, in that sentence?
Tiene que ser more, porque es
More,
comparativo y el
because
most es
the
para el superlativo.
exactly.
More.
Thank you, Letty. So once again, Mr. Francisco, the sentence.
My grandmother is more complicated than my mother.
Okay, very good. Si quiero decir, mi hermana es menos complicada que mi mamá. How can we say that?
My sister is less complicated. My mother
Than my
than my
mother.
mother.
Very good, very good. That's the way we use it. What if I want to say, mi abuela es la persona más complicada de mi familia? How do I say that?
My grandmother is the most complicated than the family
The most complicated person in the
person
family. Yes.
in the family.
So my grandmother is the most complicated person in the family. Very good. What if I want to say, mi hermana es la persona menos complicada de la familia?
My sister is the less complicated person than my family.
Ok, vamos bien hasta que agregamos el than. With superlatives, no then. Ok,
Okay.
quítale el then.
Okay.
Ok, one more time.
My sister is the less complicated person in my family.
In my family, very good. Excellent. The
In
pronunciation, Mr. Francisco, is least.
Least.
Least complicated. Como que digan lista in English, list. Okay?
Wait.
Is the
Okay.
least complicated person in my family. Do we
Okay.
understand how to use more, less, and most and least, guys?
3 or more syllables.
Okay, yes. ¿Se entiende esto? ¿Cómo usar las expresiones more, less, or most and least? ¿En contexto se entiende cómo usarlas?
Sí, se entiende,
Sí,
teacher.
solo que hay que
Solo,
practicarlo,
Ese
¿no?
sí no
ajá,
no
cabal.
me convence su sí,
Lo que pasa es
David.
que ya cuando,
Te va a aplicar
cuando,
de
ajá,
vuelta a la cabeza,
aplicarlo.
como tres
Ok.
Ajá.
veces.
Pero es
Eh,
porque nos falta vocabulario y también practicarlo, ¿verdad? Que es lo que...
have you ever heard about this? Hold on, more or less. ¿Ya han escuchado that expression, more or less?
Yes. Más o menos.
Yes.
Más o menos.
You have mute, Iberly.
Sorry, it's the same. It's the same. I mean, more, más, less, menos, okay? So, I will do a little exercise. Vamos a hacer algo rapidito before I go to the grammar quiz. I will put you in couples, and this is what we will do. I want, oops, no, hold on. No acepten las invitations. I want you to translate sentences from Spanish to English, okay? I think that that can help you a lot to understand how to use the comparatives. So you will work in couples and it's going to be something quick, just like 3 or 4 sentences. 2 in comparatives and 2 en superlatives. Acuérdense que si yo quiero decir algo con comparativo, es como mi perro es más bonito que el tuyo. Mi carro es más rápido que el tuyo. That is a comparative in Spanish, okay? If I want to say a superlative, would be like, mi hermana es la mejor de su clase. Mi mamá es la persona más amorosa del mundo. That's a superlative, okay? So I want you to translate sentences. Somebody say a sentence in Spanish and the other one will translate it to English. So let's do that practice. ¿Se entiende lo que vamos a hacer?
Un compañero va a hacer en español y el otro la va a traducir.
Sí, y cuando terminen, you switch. O sea, I want
Okay.
both, ¿ok? Solo hagamos 4 sentences por el tiempo, ¿ok? Just 4 sentences, but I think that that's gonna help you to understand
2 cada uno o
better.
4 cada uno en español.
4 cada uno.
Okay.
2 comparativos. No, o sea que mejor sí, solo 2. Una comparativa y una superlativa, all right? Okay. Let's accept the invite so we can go to the breakout rooms.
Me regresó.
Oh, let's see.
Mm, Sala de...
I don't know what happened. Can you hold on?
O si me uno aquí. No.
¿A cuál le parece que se tiene que unir?
Espérame.
¿Al 2 o al 1? Okay. What are you doing, girls?
En español.
Okay, but...
Las estamos escribiendo.
Oh, okay, you're writing. Okay, but just 2 sentences. One with comparative and one with
Sí,
superlative.
yo ya tengo las mías.
Okay.
Si quieres te las digo, vale.
Go.
Mi perro es el más enojado de mi vecindario. Sí, es verdad.
The dog is the most furious in the, how do you say vecindario?
Neighborhood.
Neighborhood.
In the neighbor.
Neighborhood. Neighbor es
Neighborhood.
vecino.
Ah,
Neighborhood es vecindario.
in the neighbor.
La otra es, mi
Um,
casa es más pequeña que la de mi tía.
my house is smallest than the house with than the house with my
The
aunt.
uncle's house. Uncle's house. Sería, ¿verdad?
Yes. How was your sentence,
Ah,
Linety? One more time.
Mi casa es más pequeña que la de mi tía.
Okay. Ale, is that a comparative or a superlative?
comparative.
It's a comparative, all right? So remember that with comparatives, the adjective has to be ER, smaller, okay?
Smaller, yeah.
Yeah, let's repeat the sentence, please.
Mm, my house is smaller than
It will be
than the
my aunt,
house,
my aunt's house.
my aunt's house.
My aunt, let me put it in the chat. My aunt's house. Okay. Very good. Do you have the superlative questions, Letty?
No, no.
Okay, one with superlative, at least.
Es la primera que le dije, mi perro es el más enojado de mi vecindario.
Oh, yeah, that's true, sorry. Okay, Ale, now your sentences to Letty.
Okay. Mi pastel es mejor que el tuyo.
My, ¿cómo que se pastel? Bake?
Cake.
Cake,
Cake. Okay.
bake
My
is the
cake,
action.
my cake is better than yours.
Yeah, correct.
Mi teléfono es el mejor de su gama.
My phone is the better
Better is comparative.
is the most
No.
¿cómo es?
What is the
More.
superlative of? Okay,
No me
good.
acuerdo.
Esto es un irregular. Usted me lo preguntó ayer. Good is the adjective. Better is the comparative. So what's the superlative? It is a common word. Está
Si
fácil.
es good, si
Quiero
es
decir, yo soy la mejor de la clase, ¿cómo lo diría?
I am the best, ese best es
Yeah,
comparativo.
best. No. Best is the superlative
Superlative.
form.
Ah, ok.
Superlative.
Entonces,
Okay.
my cell is the best.
The best in the range or in the market, you can say. My cell phone is the best in the market.
In the market.
Yes, that's what we can say. Okay, very good. I will close the breakout rooms, okay? So please, let's go back to the main room.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, my pleasure. Okay, so we will just wait for the rest. David, Francisco, and Maria Jose are coming, I think. All right, very good. Okay, so we have Francisco and what about David and where are David and Maria Jose, Francisco? Oh, there they are.
I don't know.
Okay. So, how was the exercise, guys? David, can you tell your Spanish sentences? And Francisco, you will translate his sentences.
Okay. David.
David, your
Okay.
Spanish sentence.
Comparative.
Yes.
The shirt green is more
In,
attractive
In
yeah,
Spanish.
than
in Spanish.
La camisa verde es más atractiva que la otra.
Okay.
The green shirt is more attractive than the other one.
Can you repeat it, please? I think you cut off a little bit.
The green shirt is more attractive than other one.
Than the other one. Okay.
Than the other one.
Very good. Now the superlative sentence, David.
La playa Costa del Sol es más bonita que la del Tunco.
That's comparative.
Ah,
You can say la playa Costa del Sol es la más bonita del Salvador, for example.
ok.
Okay. Francisco, let's translate that. Playa La Costa del Sol es la más bonita del Salvador.
The Costa del Sol beach is the most beautiful in El Salvador.
In El
The most,
Salvador, the most beautiful beach in El Salvador.
okay.
Very good, Francisco.
Okay. Okay.
Now
Thank you.
your Spanish sentences for David.
Ah, okay. The first comparative. Okay. Mi hija está más grande que la hija de mi hermano.
Ok, pongámosle sobrina para no complicarnos, que mi sobrina.
Ah, va.
Ok,
Mi hija está más grande que mi sobrina.
ok.
My, mi hija,
Daughter.
my daughter is mm, la más
Yo creo que por
bi-
más grande se refiere a alta. Está más
alta.
alta, ¿qué?
Yes,
Ajá.
Ah, ok.
es más alta.
My daughter is tales,
Tallest, no. The superlative. What is the comparative of tall?
taller,
Taller. It's
taller
taller. Ajá.
than the sobrina, dijo.
Yeah,
Yes.
than my niece.
Niece,
Niece. Así se dice sobrina, niece. Ok.
niece, than, ajá. Entonces, my daughter is eh, taller, taller than niece,
My niece.
than my niece.
Yes. Okay, very good. The second sentence, Francisco.
Okay. Eh, la música jazz es la mejor de todas.
Okay. La música ya es la mejor de todas, David.
The music jazz is the best, no,
It
the
will be
better,
jazz music. Jazz music is,
that's,
no, jazz. Jazz music.
jazz music. Jazz
Mhm.
music is better than
No. Remember that this is a superlative, okay?
superlative,
Y el
perdón.
superlativo es que está
Sí, sí,
exaltando algo de la música. Entonces lo que Francisco está diciendo es que la música jazz es la mejor. It's not comparing, okay?
sí.
So jazz music is
Is the best
the
music,
best,
the best music.
hasta ahí, the best music.
Mhm.
All right?
Okay.
Okay, very good. David, thank you so much. Okay, guys, we will move on to the, oh, this one, another one, the irregular adjectives. For these adjectives, guys, they actually change their form for comparative and superlatives. The comparative of good, better. Superlative, best, the best. Bad, the comparative for bad is worse. And the superlative is worst, with T at the end. Then we have little, less, and least. Far is farther and farthest. far, further, and furthest, and many or much. The comparative will be more and most, which are the ones that we already use for comparatives and superlatives. Now let's move to the exercise. We have a little grammar test. So sentence number 1. Let me zoom it up. Okay. We have my sister, she's, and we have intelligent here. What will be the correct adjective in that sentence, guys?
More intelligent.
More.
Okay.
More.
More intelligent. Very good. What about number 2?
Avatar is probably
Worse.
Okay, solo words.
Worse film. I've seen.
Avatar is probably worst film.
The worst. The worst.
Okay, the
The
worst
worst film I've
film
seen.
I've seen. Very good. Number 3.
this
Do you know what is wet?
wet.
Wet
I don't
es
know.
mojado o húmedo.
Ah, hmm.
What will be, okay, let's remember the rules. This
The
is a
what?
short adjective and we have a consonant, vowel, consonant. What does the rule say about these type of adjectives?
Yes, wet.
Okay, EST. All right, will
Yeah.
be the,
The
should I write it like this? Así va, the wettest.
wet.
Is the spelling correct?
Yes.
No se le
As-
ponen dos T.
Okay, that
Termine.
was my question. Remember when we have adjectives, consonant, vowel, consonant, entonces le vamos a duplicate the last consonant, all right?
Wet.
So we have number 4. Do you think the Harry Potter films are than the books?
Best.
I'm sorry?
Best.
Best.
The
Best.
best.
Okay,
The best.
all right. Let's pay attention to the sentence. Do you think the Harry Potter films are the best than the books?
Better.
Better.
Es una comparativa.
Yes. Guys, this is like a combination. Piénselo como en una cosa que siempre van juntos. Un comparativo siempre va a ir con than toda la vida. Y un superlativo va a ir siempre con de. Okay? So when you say then, this word in a sentence, it means that it's a comparative. All right? That's the way that we can identify them. So number 5, who is powerful person in your country?
More.
Most. ¿Quién es most?
Okay, solo así, most. Who is most
The most.
powerful?
The
The
most.
most power.
Okay, very good. Who is the most powerful person in your country? Very good. Number 6, I think Men in Black was than Men in Black 3.
Funnier.
Funnier, okay. Y funnier, va así, funnier.
No.
Ear.
Se convierte en E.
I-E-R.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Is Angelina Jolie than
Older.
Sandra Bullock? Okay, older, very good. And John is, it says nice, person that I know.
The most.
Okay, the most nice,
Nicer.
the most
Nice.
nicer. Así.
No.
The most
If
nice.
See, the most nice.
no.
Okay, let's think. Let's analyze. Nice. How many syllables? Nice?
Una.
I think it would be two. Nice.
One.
Two.
Two.
Nice.
Two. Okay.
Nice.
And
Two.
with one or
yo-
two syllables, what do we do with one or two syllables?
Mm, RST.
Exactly. We add st. So what is the superlative for nice?
Nicest.
Exactly. Entonces le pongo the most nicest. ¿Así?
No.
What do you think? No, right? Because with the short adjectives, guys, we don't use most. We just use the nicest. Okay, John is the nicest person that I know. All right, let's see the answers. It says 7 out of 8. Esa está mala. Why is it bad? The most powerful person in your country.
El powerful one.
Eso faltó. The most, le puse the most. Okay. Yeah. So these are the answers. More intelligent, the worst, the wettest, better, and this one, the most powerful person in your country, funnier, older, and the nicest. Okay, very good. Let's review and let's try to always use the comparative, guys, because if we don't use them, we will forget them, okay? Now we will have a listening activity, all right? We have one for comparatives and one for superlatives. So I want you to pay attention. Let's see. Okay. Solo vamos a hacer los quizzes, okay? Listen to the audio and then we will answer these questions, just 4 questions, okay? Let me share the sound. There you go. And pay attention, please.
Conversation 1. My mother and father are very different. My mom is older than my dad, but my dad looks older than my mom. My dad is more active because he plays sports. My mom is more talkative. She loves to talk with people. My dad is taller than my mom. My mom is shorter than my dad. Conversation 2. Los Angeles and San Francisco are both in California, but they are very different. San Francisco is smaller than Los Angeles. It is also colder. Los Angeles is bigger than San Francisco, but San Francisco is more expensive. It is harder to find housing in San Francisco. I think San Francisco is a better place to live. Conversation 3. I think the old Star Wars movies are better than the new Star Wars movies. In the old movies, the characters were more interesting and the story was faster. The new stories are more difficult to follow. I felt happier watching the old movies. Conversation 4. I like Japanese food more than American food because it is healthier. Japanese meals are smaller and fresher than American meals. American food is more international though, so I like that about it. Still, I think Japanese food tastes better.
Okay. Did you get the answers or should I play it one more time?
I get it.
Okay. So, number 1, who's older, her mom or her dad?
Her mom.
Her dad. Her mom.
Her mom,
La.
okay. A. All right, number 2, which city is more expensive, San Francisco or LA?
San Francisco.
Okay.
Francisco.
What movies make her happy, new or old movies?
All
All
movies.
movies.
Almost.
Okay, and
Almost.
which food tastes better to her, Japanese or American?
Japanese food.
Japanese.
Japanese. Let's see, check. Very good job. We got a 10. Excellent. Now let's go with the superlatives. The same. It is a short story and we will answer the questions about what we heard, okay? And let me give play.
Conversation 1.
What is the fastest way to get to the airport?
By taxi, but it's the most expensive.
What's the cheapest?
The local bus, but is by far the slowest way to get there.
I better spring for a taxi then.
Yeah, it's best if you do.
Conversation 2.
What is the best place to visit in your country?
I think the West Coast. It has the best weather.
What about the cost?
The costs are very high. Our most expensive cities are there.
Oh, that's too bad. What about the food?
It's great. It has the best restaurants in the country.
Conversation 3.
How was the movie last night?
Oh, it was great. It was the scariest movie I've ever seen.
Oh, really? That scary?
Yes, I was screaming throughout the film.
Was it crowded?
Yeah, it was the most packed I've ever seen the theater.
Conversation 4.
What is the oldest city in your country?
I think it's the capital.
Is it the biggest?
It was, but not anymore.
Why are people moving out?
Well, it's not the most modern place to live.
Okay. Do you get the answers?
Yes.
Yeah or yes?
Yeah.
Everybody?
Sí, más o menos, sí. More or less.
Should I play it one more time?
Yes,
No.
please.
Oh, sí. No.
Okay, I will give you another shot. Let's play it.
Conversation 1.
What is the fastest way to get to the airport?
By taxi, but it's the most expensive.
What's the cheapest?
The local bus, but is by far the slowest way to get there.
I better spring for a taxi then.
Yeah, it's best if you do.
Conversation 2.
What is the best place to visit in your country?
I think the West Coast. It has the best weather.
What about the cost?
The costs are very high. Our most expensive cities are there.
Oh, that's too bad. What about the food?
It's great. It has the best restaurants in the country.
Conversation 3.
How was the movie last night?
Oh, it was great. It was the scariest movie I've ever seen.
Oh, really? That scary?
Yes, I was screaming throughout the film.
Was it crowded?
Yeah, it was the most packed I've ever seen the theater.
Conversation 4.
What is the oldest city in your country?
I think it's the capital.
Is it the biggest?
It was, but not anymore.
Why are people moving out?
Well, it's not the most modern place to live.
Okay. Now let's answer the questions. Number 1, A or B?
A.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay, number 2, A or B?
B.
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 Okay, number 3, A or B?
B.
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 B. And number 4, A or B?
A.
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 A. Let's see the answers. Very good. 10. Excellent, guys. Very good job. Very good job. And let's see. I actually had a role play activity, but there is not enough time for us to practice, so we will stop here um with the class. So I would like to know if you have questions about the comparatives or superlatives, or if there is a part that you don't understand, this is the time for questions.
No. Only I need the practice.
The practice, yeah, definitely. Remember, guys, that practice will help you a lot. We cannot dedicate just 1 hour or 2 hours to learn English. If we want to learn the language properly, si lo queremos aprender como se debe, si lo quiere aprender bien, you have to practice like for 3-4 hours at least. That's what we have to do, okay?
Per day.
I'm
Per
sorry?
day. Per
Per
day.
day, daily, yes.
Daily.
Different
Okay.
ways to practice. Creo que las maneras de practicar inconscientemente es, por ejemplo, setting your phone in English, que ponga siempre su teléfono, sus redes en inglés. If you do it, si ya lo tiene así, very good. Pero if you don't, my advice is do it. Porque saber familiarizando con el lenguaje, with words, with actions, and that's how you will get a little bit of vocabulary. Another one that is very important, it will be the watching movies, series, music, and listening to music in English. You have to be in an English environment. Si usted pone una serie que a usted le gusta y la pone en inglés y le pone los subtitles y todo, ni siquiera va a sentir que you're studying. O sea, no lo va a poner como que se ponga, se siente con un libro, a hacer ejercicios. You won't see it like that. With series, with movies, with music is easier. So try to do that. You can, if you cannot pay, for example, a subscription in a platform, you can pay for a profile. You know that a lot of people nowadays, they sell HBO profiles, Netflix profiles, and that's what you can do so you can like improve, so you can learn, okay? So that's my advice, guys. Get 100% in an English environment, because that's gonna help you a lot to understand and to get more vocabulary, to understand grammar, and that's it. So questions, guys, or suggestions, comments?
No. No question.
Okay, very
No
good.
question.
Okay, so I will see you tomorrow, guys, at 8 p.m. Remember that you need to complete the platform by tomorrow. Para mañana ya tienen que tener terminada la plataforma de Speak, porque mañana ya sería el último día. Así que, if you have any problem or something, you can report it to the WhatsApp group, okay? I hope you have a wonderful night, guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.
Thank you, teacher. See you
Thank
tomorrow.
you.
Thanks,
Bye.
teacher.
Bro.
Take care.
Night.
Bye.